Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac, and I'm going today to put up my Lumis and Umbra character deck profile Battle City in just a second. Nice t-shirt, there we go. Now, what can I first of all tell you guys about these specific characters? First, I would say, in the first place, those were two characters which had two obviously balanced decks that either side, one deck contained all the monster cards, whereas the other one contained mostly, in majority, spell and trap cards in comparison to the other one. And I have put them together so they are not to differentiate in general. I bought bought also, but build a deck from these two characters into one. Of course, I did also put a couple of cards in there which might fit into the deck, which were not shown in the Battle City era, but yeah, really do fit into that kind of strategy they had. Now, they were one of the last servants that Marek, which faced Yugi and Kaiba in a double duel. I mean, it's 2 against 2. And their main strategy was completely based on mask cards. Mask cards in type of in terms of monster, as well as spell and trap cards. Now, the first monster which I will reveal to you guys is Dark Titan of Terror. Now, as you can clearly see on that specific artwork, it's a monster with more faces that have the issue of masks on it. So yeah, I'm not certain if you factually played that out, but yeah, it's very handy in that one. Then one card which he, I think, did play out is Three-Headed Guido. One of those, also three heads, also has 3 masks on it. One particular card which also one of the other servants of Marek possessed, namely a Rare Hunter. And yeah, above that, Grand Elder Tiki. That was a card which they certainly put in the battle, and which have to be combined with another card to get one of the boss monsters which they possessed, of course. Then the one who hunts souls. Now, first of all, this is an OCG exclusive card, as you might see, but it has a mask on it, so yeah, I thought it might be very fitting into this deck. As well as Megiro's Light. Now, if you, also an OCG exclusive card, one that he didn't play out in the show, but if you give the masked deck or the Lumis and Umbra deck into Google and search for it, then this card, for example, comes also out in that deck list which they possessed, as well as this OCG exclusive card which I have put 2 times in there, Masked Clown. Now, as a word, it's or the name itself says, it's a masked monster. Then, of course, Melkit, the four-faced beast, which also, like this one, is needed in order to summon one of the boss monsters, which I will very soon review to you guys. Then another one, Shining Abyss, which they played out very clearly. I know that. Then further on, also they played out Rogue Doll. And another card with the mask, which they did not engage into battle, but I think it was on the deck list as well, was Aqua Mador, which originally is a Kaiba card, I think, in the Duelist Kingdom, but yeah. And then we go further with Mask Chopper. This one he did not play out, but yeah, like I said already, that it's the word itself in the artwork might also fit into that main strategy of having masked monsters. And then Maju of the 10,000 Hands. Now this card fits very good into this deck, as we have here at least one ritual monster, one of the boss monsters, the Masked Beast, which I will explain to you very soon about, is a ritual boss monster. And yeah, you have to have the Maju of the 10,000 Hands has the skill effect to I think either if it's flip summoned or normal summoned, you can put one ritual monster or even ritual spell card from the deck to your hand, so that might come in handy very well into this deck. Then 2 times Ritual Raven. Now, the first argument to put this card into the deck is not that they played it virtually out, but it's a masked monster, as you can see, with 2 faces. And, as the words itself says, and also his effect, it's a ritual powering card, or enabling a ritual summon. I think you can put the Dark Ritual monster. If you have a Dark Ritual monster, you can use that card unconditionally as the entire ritual summon monster, which is required, of course, for every ritual monster. Then, as he also had puppets in his deck, I put Mysterious Puppet Player into this deck also. Then, further on, Mask of Darkness, Slate Warrior, which was in the deck list as well, Masked Sorcerer, Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Now these two, of course, because of the artwork of the masks. Then another one which was on the deck list clearly was the Nuvia the Wicked one, and Hannibal Death Summoner. Now, because of the puppet engine, I also put in there the Doomed Puppet Player. Now, last but not least, his 2 boss monsters, the Masked Beast and Masked Beast Des Guardians, which he both did use into the in the very battle against Kaiba and Yugi in the double duel. Now, these are about his monsters, and now we go on moreover to talk about his supporting spell cards, of course. Now, as I already mentioned, he possessed a masked outlined deck, which comes in handy, but he did not use, was a Call the Zone, a field spell card, which we can summon in I think 1 or 2 masked monster or masked tokens. And then, of course, Masked Dispo, which has a very good effect with continuous spell cards. Masked of the Doomed, these are 2 cards which were originally played in the anime. This one is to slow down or to even block the attacks of monsters, and I think they even cannot change their... No, they just can't attack. Block the attack of monster of opponent's monster, and you can your opponent also gets 500 of effect damage due to this card per each of his or her standby phases. Then Mask of Brutality, of course, which were also used. I put it 2 times in there. Mask of Remnants, which is, I think, needed for the purpose of to have the Masked Beast of Descartes on the field, and you can play that card as well and take control of a opponent's monster with it. Then 2 times Curse of the Masked Beast to ritual summon, of course, our other boss monster, the ritual monster Masked Beast. Then I also put in there Bait Doll because of his puppet engine in order to destroy a spell or trap card. Axe of the how is it called? I have it in German, so it's Axe of Clown. Axe of the Clowns, I think, which also might come in handy into this deck, and yeah, I was fit into that engine I think they have. Then, as he has also the puppet engine, as I said, Mind Control. You have a puppet player on the artwork, and you can take control of one of the opponent's monster. Then another card which has a puppet player on the artwork is Card Changer. That enables you to evoke the position change of the opponent's monsters. Then Brain Control, also in order to control an opponent's monster. The Chosen, that one is another card that they played out, which is a little bit of a speculation type of spell card. I think from 3 cards you can put from your non-monster 2 non-monster cards and 1 monster card. Your opponent has to choose one, and if if the one chosen is the monster card, it would be special summoned onto the field, and if not, then all 3 cards will be placed in the graveyard. But if you choose the right one, then just the 2 non-monster cards will to be placed in the graveyard. Then Flint, another spell card which works very similar to Mask of the Cursed. You can, of course, block a monster of the opponent as it is an equipped spell card. I think it's a more powered version of Mask of the Cursed, for the exception that he or she does not lose any life points during his standby phase, but the monster loses 300 attacks permanently and cannot attack, as well as cannot change his battle positions as well. Then another card that they played out in the anime was Exchange. For draw power, I put up this Staple of Graceful Charity. And Black Pendant was another spell card I think they played out. And then I also put in there Door of the Magical Contract, which you can take one level 7 or 8 dark monster from the deck to your hand by exchanging one spell card from your hand to your opponents. And last but not least, for the spell cards, another equip spell card which enables you to put on your opponent's monster and destroy it after the second standby phase, and then this spell card is put into your hand instead of coming to the graveyard. Yeah. Then, guys, onto the trap cards. Now, trap cards, and I will also mention it to the spell cards which are not all existing in the TCG card game, because there were some other spell cards like Mask of Impregnability, which were anime exclusive and not printed in the TCG, neither nor in the OCG until yet. So yeah, we have to keep waiting, and maybe one day it will be coming out. Of course, Mirror Force, which they used in the first duel against Kaiba and Yugi. Mask of the Weakness, of course, 3 times I put it in there. They played also out. And Mask of Restrict, which prohibits the tribute summon of any monsters on the field, and Mask of Weakness weakens, of course, the opponent's monster by 700 points. And then, as I already said, they had other exclusive, anime exclusive cards, but yeah, as an exchange for that, I took Reverse Glasses, which had a similar effect to the, I think, Masked Doll was it called. You can halve the attack of all opponents' of all monsters on the field. Then another card, I think they had an other card which I don't know what it's called, but it was I don't know what it was called, but that trap card that I have is exchanging the attack subject of the opponent to another correct target of monster which you choose. I think I don't know how the card is actually called in English. I think it was in German it's called Deckungsfeuer. I think it is. Oh my god, I did forget. Yeah, but you maybe recognize on the artwork which originally is meant to be. I think it was first printed in Ultimate Rare and the Ascent Sanctuary booster, and I also pulled it, but I put it in another deck. I think in the Raphael deck. Then 2 cards which were very similar, but they are also anime exclusive, which is Spell Reclamation and Trap Reclamation. Now, they had, I think, Trap Reverse and Spell Reverse. I think Spell Reverse was a spell card, but still they had an effect with, I think, miming the opponent's spell or trap card, and this one works similar but not equally. You can put one of your own spell or trap cards from your graveyard mime another of your own spell or trap cards which you just activated, and chain it on it, and by discarding 1 card from your hand. And always if your spell or trap cards which you did activate comes to the graveyard, it's placed in the player's hand instead. So yeah, that was that was all, last but not least, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Stay tuned for more content. Now, and I have to redeem myself from the last time because I did forget, we also have left behind the character deck profile from Bones, but we're still working on it. I have hired some boosters which contains a couple of cards which Bones did have in his deck, and I still don't have. So yeah, I think it will be the last character deck profile to conclude the whole Battle City era. First of all, before that, I will also put Weevil Underwood's deck profile on this channel in a couple of days, if I'm finished with it regularly. After that, in the aftermath, I will then conclude with the deck profile of Bones, and then I think, if I'm not being mistaken, we are done with the Battle City era. And now, of course, then I will put into this channel the first, and then eventually all of the Cyberse and Virtual World deck profiles coming up. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it and have a nice evening. This is Life Maniac. Bye!